Hey guys, your humble host. So real quick, I wanted to make this small video seeing how this is still going about. First let me start off saying, I don't claim to be 100% innocent. I did let my anger bleed through my words, which was very much sane, but I had it. I really did, and there was a lack of reasoning with a lot of people in the CC in regards to what happened 4 years back. Point number 2, I didn't randomly bring this back up. How this came about was Bob releasing their commentary on an 8-month-old video of mine and twisting some things in there what I had done in the past, especially coming out of Blazing Rants and Caden Marks. Now, once again, as I did agree with the majority of the video, I never claimed that I agreed with their video 100%. I thought about it for a few days after releasing my reflection video, which is no longer up on my channel because I saw it as pointless. I decided to list what my problems in the video in the comments, and it started this massive shitstorm. So, and it took off from there, and, I maybe could have responded better, but you know what? Yeah, did I have some unresolved feelings? Yeah, I did, because what happened back then was really messed up. Point number 3, and this goes to Ponder Sprocket. I saw your comment in the section of Hobbes' video. It was directed to me from Borg. Well, it started with a tweet of yours, and then I followed it from there. I gotta say to you, lady, hats off to you. I mean, really, hats off to you. You have seen clearly through all the bullshit on both sides and stated things as they are, which you have my newfound respect for. You are one of the very few people who have proved to be reasonable. And granted, me and you haven't really spoken in a while, and that's fine, and I did send you a Skype message, and if you don't want to talk, that's perfectly fine too. But I do want to iterate and emphasize your maturity level that you had in the comment section of Hobbes' video, and you know what, I greatly appreciate that. I really wish that there was more people like you, Master TP, Professor Magewood, Borg Productions. I really do. I wish we had more people like you and them in the CC. I feel that's what's really needed. Number 3, this is directed at TOG. TOG, you're a freaking coward. The fact that you didn't come to me to talk with me like a proper adult, the fact that you completely blew off anything I had to say and then went and boo-hooed to Hobbes because I had promised legal action had you done something like that again. And my promise still stands. What were you going to think? Hobbes was going to tell me off? Really, dude? Grow a freaking spine. You know you messed up. You know that there are legal repercussions. Hobbes isn't going to tell me off. No, I have no respect for you whatsoever. Point 4, and this goes to Hobbes. Hobbes, no offense, but you're an idiot. There are times where you can be reasonable and you can be wise, but it's not one of those times. It really isn't. You just had a bunch of dribble in your video, and I did watch it all the way through. I wasn't a surrogate mother to Flukedogg. No, I got involved back then because I heard about it. Seeing how mental Flukedogg really was, I'm not excusing or condoning his actions due to his autism. That's not what I did, and that's what I'm doing now. But my intervention in that situation, and as I told the TOG professor, is I intervened due to the fact that I saw Flukedogg had no one in his corner, and I saw that he was getting himself into trouble and that people were messing with him. That is why I intervened. Being a victim of not only child abuse and sexual abuse myself, as well as being a past victim of severe bullying, I did step in and go, you know what, this is enough. We need to get you somewhere else. And that's exactly what I did. I do not care what you would have done different. I really don't give a shit. My problem with you is that you do not have the spine to stand up in the community. And the fact that you are just now coming around and making a video, the reason why I responded to you so harshly, and you can even say poorly in my comment section, is because you are now just showing your face after all the flames had died out. Really, dude? Grow a freaking spine. If you really want to make an impact, actually state shit for what it is. Ponder managed to do that. And you know what? Once again, Ponder, hats off to you. I really respect you. Hobbes, I cannot say the same about you. Me and you have had our personal talks, and there are certain things that I can respect about you. But after this video, dude, oh, hell no, man. I'm sorry. You done shot yourself in the foot. And you know what? I don't really care. I really don't care how I'm looked at by the CC. For all I care, the CC can disintegrate. I mean, that's how much I really care. But, and I know this video probably isn't what people wanted it to be or wanted to hear, but you know what? I'm being honest. And just a little side note, Ponder, this does go back to you a little bit because I know you were a little bit confused about the DA thing, about me getting that sex offender off of DeviantArt, which I did have a direct hand in. I have two channels, The Chambers of My Heart and Real Cat. I made videos under both channels and spread videos around under both DeviantArt accounts because Real Cat did have a DeviantArt called Real Cat the Official, which are now both gone. So, but no, I did have a direct hand. I'm the one that called the cops. I'm the one that spoke to the detective. I'm the one that spread the news around that he got arrested. So no, yes, that was me. Yes, there was people already reported him to the cyber police and from what I hear the FBI, so that did help because they did look into those things as well. But I am the one that gathered up all the information and passed it on personally to a detective whose name and number I still have. So, I have stepped in and done those things before. Let me see, what time is it? Okay. Sorry, doing this quick video before I go to work. But you know, just everyone stop. And also something I want to bring to the light too is I never victim blamed or blamed Phoenix Angel Gal for what happened. I called bullshit on her story, and I still don't believe it all the way because of an old journal I found, which I will link in the description, an old journal I found that talks about how she heard that these guys were trolling Flukedogg. This is the very first mention of Flukedogg that she has in her journal. That Flukedogg was being trolled, and that after hearing about some creepy stuff he did and said, she blocked him after seeing that he started to follow her on her social accounts like every other person. And then I guess she made some video telling him to stay away from her, and no, it just, and that's what it says. There's no mention of cyber-talking. I will link that journal below, and if that journal gets deleted, I have an official screen cap for it on my Twitter status, which will also go in the comments. So, no, it's not me victim blaming, it's me calling her on her bullshit. And I'm not condoning anything that Flukedogg expressed. I never condoned anything back then. I corrected him multiple times. And it just, that's how it happened. Yes, I don't have the full story prior to the Xbox incident. But the way that people have responded and what I have found so far proves, like, you know what, people were messing with him. I don't believe that Flukedogg was stalking people. I don't believe people were being cyber harassed, or rather sexually harassed by Flukedogg. Because if you look at the DR and that TOG did, he was provoked and asked some sexual questions. So once again, as I stated earlier before, I will forever stand by what I did with Flukedogg. I don't condone anything that he said or did. He was clearly messed up in the head due to his low-functioning autism, didn't know how to express himself, and I stepped in, seeing how he's getting himself in trouble with other people, not fully understanding what was going on, and because I had been in his corner before. I had been at that point where I had no one in my corner, no one was willing to stick up for me, no one was able to fight for me, and it was just a free-for-all. So that's how that went down. And also, just something too, because Hobbes, this goes back to you, and I guess this can go to TOG Professor as well. Just because something is not on in real life and it's on the internet does not keep you safe from any legal repercussions. It really doesn't. And to even point in that direction or have that logic, you are seriously fooling yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it off here. I have to go to work, so I'm officially done with this mess. I really am. I'm not part of the CC. I don't care to be. And as I stated in my video in regards to the CC, I said a majority. I didn't say every single person, because not every single person is the majority. I have had the pleasure and respect for certain people to come to me or state things how they really are. And you know what? I appreciate those people. I really do. Anyway, I will be signing off. I will talk to you guys later. Your humble host out.